Hello and welcome to our webinar presented by MSE Consulting. My name is Bradley. I'm the Director of Innovation and Technology here at MSE. Today's webinar, we're going to be looking at Paxen Learning's GED Test Prep Program, their web-based modules for math, science, reading, writing, and social studies. We'll do a quick overview of Paxen Learning, and then we'll hop in and I'll show you around the dashboard and how to get started with your online classes. Paxen Learning currently has about 6,000 students on their program. They see about a 94% success rate, and they're one of 3 companies that are accredited by the ACE, the American Council on Education, which is the parent company for the GED test. With that said, let's go ahead and hop into our dashboard. What we're looking at here is the first page you'll see when you log in. You'll get a username and a password and a link to click on. When you click that link, enter your username and password. This is the page you'll see. So we'll quickly go over this page and then how we can get into our actual GED online classes. As we're looking at this page, if you look at the very top, you see your name. As you're logged in, to the right of that, you'll see My Places. If you click My Places, it'll show you the classes that you've registered for. It'll allow you to change your preferences for your personal information and your notification settings. You can always go back to this home page by clicking Home. Click the Help button if you have any questions or need any help, and then you can log out when you're done using your session. If you look over on the left hand side, there's 2 tabs, Paxen Learning and Paxen Learning Community. The Paxen Learning tab will take you to this home page here. Underneath that you see Blackboard support. This web-based program is run off the Blackboard program or the Blackboard platform. If you need any help or assistance, you can contact Veronica. And when we're ready to get started with our GED test prep questions and lessons, we'll click Paxen Learning Community. Just go ahead and click that. On this page you'll see a few modules. There'll be an announcements module, which will come from any of the institutions or classes or organizations that you belong to that have posted any announcements. An organizations module that will show you any organizations that you belong to. The courses that you've registered for. In this particular demo we have all the courses signed up, but you might only have 1 or 2. A discussion board, and at the very bottom a class catalog. If you'd like to go ahead and sign up for more classes, you can browse the class catalog. So in this particular webinar we're going to look at the writing module. So we're going to go over to the GED Prep Accelerator Writing. We're going to click that link. This will take you to the basic first page of the writing program. It'll always start with the announcements, which will give you a little bit of information about the instructor, how to get in touch with them. If there's any other questions or comments that are posted by the instructor, they'll be here. If we look on the left hand side, very top, it'll say GED Prep Accelerator Writing. That tells you where you are. A couple tabs underneath that. One is the announcements, which is the page we're on. The next one is the GED lessons, which are the actual lessons that we'll be working through. You can click Ask Questions if you have any questions. You can keep track of your grades as you're working through the lessons. And there's some email tools as well. Let's go ahead and get started, and we'll click GED Lessons. Okay, this page breaks out all the units for the GED writing lessons. A little information about the instructor and the GED. And it looks like this one has 5 units. And so you'll work through each one of these units. And you can work through it as many times as you would like until you feel comfortable, and you can move on to the next unit. So let's go ahead and look at one of these units. We'll start with Unit 1, Mechanics. At the beginning of each of our units, there's going to be a bio of someone that got their GED and then moved on to do successful things in their life. As we page down to the bottom of this page, we'll see a couple of links. See the Student Edition link, the online workbook, and then a Unit 1 review. With the Student Edition link, this is where we're going to learn the skill, we're going to practice that skill, and then we'll apply that skill to a particular word problem. And the online workbook is where we're going to take that particular skill and we're going to work on mastering it. And then the Unit 1 will be a review of all the stuff that we've worked on in this first unit. So to get started, we're going to click the Student Edition. This is broken down into lessons. In this particular one, there are 6 lessons to work on. You can work on these lessons one at a time. You can work on a couple of them at a time, however fits your needs. So let's go ahead and get started with Lesson 1. We're going to click Lesson 1, Capitalization. You'll notice that it opens up in a separate window. In this particular window, we're going to learn the skill and we're going to practice the skill. This is Unit 1, Lesson 1, Capitalization. So we click Next. We're going to learn the skill of capitalization. So you can read through this, and when you're ready, go on to the next page. And this is where we're going to practice this skill. On this page, you're going to see on the left-hand side there's some notes to give you some help and some tips. And on the right-hand side of the page, you see a test question, and then you have to be able to answer it. So when we're ready to go ahead and apply the skill, we're going to take Lesson 1, click Apply the Skill. This is going to be a simple test that's probably 4 to 6 questions long, and you have the ability to start and stop anywhere you'd like. You can finish the test in one sitting, or you can take 2 or 3 sittings to finish the test. When you're ready to go ahead and start, you click on Begin. In this particular one, I've already taken the test, which is okay, because if you click OK, you'll be able to look at your results and go over your test. Or you can take this test, click Take this test again, and you can take this test again. You can take these tests as many times as you would like. So this is what the test looks like. Gives you a little description on how to do it. Question 1, and then some answers, and then question 2, and then some answers, and then question 3, and then your answers. So let's go ahead and we'll just kind of pick a couple answers. Let's say we got partway through the test and something came up, and then we want to go ahead and leave. So we're just going to head save, click OK, and then now you can log out and log back in, and then you can start wherever you get finished up on this next test. So we logged out, we logged back in. Go ahead and answer number 3. I'm going to save and submit, click OK. And what this is going to do is going to keep track of all of our answers. And so when we click My Grades, we're going to be able to start to see where our grades are to give us an idea of what we're looking at when we're actually going to take the GED test. So as we work our way through this, once we've kind of finished with all of the sections, we'll have a good idea of how we're going to score on the GED test. Okay, so once we're finished with applying the skill, and we feel comfortable with that, what we can do is we're going to go ahead and master the skill. So we start with Unit 1, go down to the online workbook, which is where we work on mastering the skill. Click on that, and it's pretty much the same format as the learn the skill and apply the skill. So step 1, or lesson 1, capitalization. We're going to click on that, and it's going to be the same windows that we saw earlier. A reviewing of the skill instead of learn the skill, and a refine the skill instead of apply the skill. Okay, so just a little bit different, but the same format. So we click on this, and we're going to review the skill of capitalization. Go to the next page, very similar to the first time we looked at it. It's going to have on the left-hand side some notes, some samples, and some examples. And then we're going to have a little word problem in the middle. And then a question, test question, sample test question we can answer. So then we go back, and we click on Master the Skill, very similar to Apply the Skill. It's going to have a few more questions. It's going to be a little bit more in-depth. We click Begin. And we go back through just like on the first one. We can answer as many questions as we can. We can finish this test and work on some more. If we get halfway through this test, we can go ahead and save all our answers. And then we can come back to it whenever we're ready. So with that said, that's pretty much how you work your way through the dashboard with the web-based test prep program for the writing module. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or send us an email.